And then when Sarge gets his intestines ripped out and he's like trying to push them back in, like that. I watched this when I was 12, dude. Yeah. That's like scarred me for life. There are a couple of shots of this that like I occasionally still have nightmares about.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
I didn't like that one. I was just like, man, people have to do, like, he's just like, just put him back in.
Yeah. And apparently
they're not going to fucking fit.
Yeah. And Sean Pertwee, the actor who plays Sarge, they used real sausages for that, and they were shooting outside in Luxembourg, so they kept freezing, and then they would have to thaw the sausages back out to get the shot. So by the time they got the shot, it smelled awful. And he said that it was like actually upsetting to him. Like he felt like he was injured because he was just laying, almost getting frostbite in the middle of nowhere in Luxembourg, covered in like stinking, rotting sausages.
Man, I'm lost it. You'd be lucky to get a letter nick. I'll be telling the girls you gotta let him in. I'm in the city, now I'm repping the South. In high school, I used to put 5 on it.
Hey, welcome back to the Black and White Cinema Podcast with Kevin Ugie. I'm Kev.
And I'm Ugie.
And today we watched Dog Soldiers, and I am so stoked to talk about it. But before we do that, we always like to ease into things. Ugie, I believe you have a bit planned. Do we have time for the bit, or?
We can probably do the bit later. I have a bit of something that I'd like to talk about.
Okay. I
definitely have. So this is something I'm so happy to have. Right now I got signed by the main Project Pata. He signed me this Getty Green album, one of his most classic albums, probably his most classic album, maybe Mr. Don't Play, arguably, but it says, Ugo, keep it pimpin', man. I will. And so I'll do an excerpt for inside the Ugie studio, Project Pat. Honestly, you know what? We should do choices. There's a 3 6 Mafia movie, and like, it's definitely a rapper movie, but Project Pat acts his ass off in this movie. But I want to do an excerpt of the first song on this. I'll do the first verse, North Memphis.
North.
Hypnotize the label, you know the business. Breaking down some reefer, rolling up a sweeter, rhyme through the streeter, chiefing like a heater. Reefer got me nizzled. Oh, there go them blue boys, searching my vehicle. Breath smell like liquor. Man, it's Project Pata, a player from the South. Always pack the gutter, gold teeth in my mizzow. Hustle for the cheddar, trying to make it better. You respect the man or you get some bloody sweater. Down with Paul and Juicy, hypnotize the label. I'll get on my nutsack and let go my ego. Chopping up a Kia, riding on tortillas. Don't you want to be a player just like Mia? Hanging out with killers, creeping on the comer. Like the one before me. Dog, I'm trying to blow up. I don't give a physic. Man, I want the kids at. From your baby mama, North Memphis on the Nizat. North Memphis, where the killers hang. Where that work, North Memphis. Shout out Project Pat. Shout out Getty Green. Get that ghetto bummed in your system, you heard. This is a fucking classic-ass album, man. I'm gonna tag you when I do this. This is my fucking favorite shit. Thanks for signing this. Thanks for making this. Friend of the podcast. Always welcome here, Project Pat. You are here with me in spirit today, right now, and you will be for this episode as we do Dog Soldiers. But yeah, just wanted to do that because I love this shit.
No hate for me. That like anyone who's known Ugo for any amount of time knows what a big hero Project Pat is. I'm pretty sure that we started doing this just so that you could do that verse on the internet.
Exactly. Or many more. Yeah. We definitely have to do choices at some point.
This is the weekly Axel shout out because he's gonna fucking love that. Yeah. That was like when I met Axel and Ugo, they would always like drop Project Pat verses and I had no fucking idea like who that was. Like I knew of 3-6, no idea that he was part of it. Like I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
He's not really, but he's Juicy J's brother.
Oh,
he's like
okay.
Affiliated.
Got you. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's why I always mix up Juicy J and Project Pat in my head.
Yeah.
Well, that was something. I didn't actually write this in the script, but I wanted to. I already told Ugie about this, but I want to share a story that was kind of amusing. I think it was a couple weeks ago. By the time this episode comes out, it was like a month ago. I was walking from my house to my mailbox down the street and like chatting with my neighbors about some teacher who's like still at St. Francis at like 80 something years old. And I see a truck drive by and like do a U-turn and come back. And the guy rolls down his window. He's like, "Are you Kev?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I watched your podcast with Ugie." I'm like, "What?" I was like, is this fame? It turns out he's the brother of a guy that we both know. Yeah. So it's not like that big of a sphere of influence, but it was cool. Yeah, it was infamous. Yeah.
Like Gary Busey, you got a glimpse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm here for it, man. Getting recognized and whatever. We do it for y'all.
It was great. Yeah. So shout out to our friend a true friend of the podcast.
Yeah, shout out all the bulls.
Yeah, all the bulls, the whole family. Yeah. So that was cool. He also said that we need to have Webb on more episodes. So
you're gonna be back here soon.
Yeah. Shout out Webb. Everyone. I've heard that from multiple people. Like, loved having Webb on the show, and I loved it too. For a brief second, I felt recognized, and then I remembered that he's one of the 100 people that are watching. But it's a cool moment.
Yeah.
But seriously, shout out the Bull family.
Yeah,
a bunch of good humans over there.
You heard it from him.
Yeah. Before we get into the movie, we're going to do our segment called See What Had Happened Was. This is where one of us describes a movie poorly, and the other has to try to guess what it is. So I'm going to...
Are you certain that I've seen this movie?
I'm fairly certain. I think you've seen this movie.
Okay.
And if nothing else, like, I think Mace will get it and save us. Okay. So see, what happened was, after a long trip abroad, a Nepo baby rich boy finds a way to demolish his competition once and for all. Using his wealth, his first-class education, and his influence over the establishment media, he takes on the powerful executives running his father's company and manages to wrest control. But that's not enough. He needs control over the entire world, and he'll stop at nothing to get it, even if that means going to war with his best friend and risking the woman he loves.
No, I feel like I know what this is. Damn. Do you have any idea?
Nothing from Mace?
Yeah.
Using his wealth, first-class education, and his influence over the establishment media.
Iron Man.
Yep. Hang on, we gotta go back.
Yeah.
Because you told me to get it.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Yeah. Iron Man. You got it. Yeah.
Yep. Nepo baby rich boy. Okay. Yep. You got it. But did you get it? Internet people? No. Mark and Mace didn't get it.
Yeah. All right. I'm on the board. Put them on the board.
Yep. That was a fun one. So I guess let's talk about Dog Soldiers.
Yeah. I never heard of this movie at all.
Good. I'm glad. That's what I was hoping. This was another one my dad and I watched together. Mm-hmm. Probably got it on DVD shortly after it released. It didn't have a theatrical release in the US, which will affect our budget guessing game in a moment. But for those who don't know, this is a horror movie. Yeah. It is starring Sean Pertwee, Kevin McKidd, and Liam Cunningham. You may know the latter as Sir Davos in Game of Thrones.
Onion Knight.
The Onion Knight, yes. Sean Pertwee is in almost every single Neil Marshall movie also. And
The Onion Knight, like from Dark Souls? Sigmire or no?
No, Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
The tagline is 6 men, full moon, no chance.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a little bit more descriptive. And if you see it with a poster, which I would assume would have like a werewolf or something at least.
Yeah. The movie posters are pretty comical for this. Like I'll probably have the editor put them up right here because this was such a like indie UK movie that like they're the kind of posters that most of the text on the screen is like critical reviews that's like bitch of a werewolf movie, you know? Yeah. So it's like pretty tacky posters, but that's like, it's a good tagline.
Yeah.
It's accurate and it kind of like 6 men, full moon, no chance kind of.
Yeah. I give it an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say 7. Again, like we're usually in the same range.
Yeah.
This released in the UK on May 10th, 2002. R rating, hour 45-minute runtime. The director and writer was Neil Marshall, who has done a bunch. He's like the king of camp. His most popular is The Descent.
I don't feel like that's campy, bro.
That one not so much. Yeah. That one's like brutal. And like that was probably his highest budget, most on the rails one. If you look at his like more recent filmography, it is more of Dog Soldiers.
Yeah.
And he also did Doomsday, which I was talking to these guys behind the scenes is another really good like Scottish gory horror kind of post-apocalyptic thing that I definitely have on the list for us to do. We can do our budget game. I will say again that I only have, so I have the budget, I have UK opening weekend, I have gross UK and gross worldwide. This did not have a theatrical release in the US, so
Yeah.
I think it probably did have like some sort of release, but not a broad release. So the budget, I believe this is all in dollars. All of the units appeared to be in
I was going
dollars.
to answer in pounds.
So the budget was $2 million is the estimate. So I have opening weekend UK, gross worldwide on a $2 million indie horror.
I was actually going to guess the budget, and I was literally going to guess 2 mil.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that I was spot on for that. Opening weekend. See, the UK does a better job with their indie film because they don't have to compete so much. It's like if people like in like Scotland and Ireland will like watch shit, like there's a chance. But it was still small. But I'm going to say, I haven't heard of it though, but I haven't heard of a lot of stuff. Let's go 1.2 on the opening weekend. I was going to say that it had a great opening. No. Okay, I'm going to go 875,000 on opening weekend.
Okay.
For the gross, I'm going to go gross UK. Was gross UK the gross worldwide?
Yeah, I have gross UK and gross worldwide.
I'm going to take the hint that you said that it had a bunch of critical reviews on the poster, and he went on to do a bunch of stuff, but all the stuff was still pretty low key. I'm going to say that it made 4 million UK, and let's just say barely more 5 million worldwide.
Okay, you were pretty close. Opening weekend was right between your two guesses, so it was 994,000 on opening weekend.
Well, okay.
So it made half its money back pretty much.
Yeah.
Gross UK was 2.8, so you shot a little high. And gross worldwide was only 3.5 because it didn't really get released anywhere. It went straight to DVD in the US and like maybe a few spots around Europe got a translation.
What did I say, 3 and 4 or 4 and 5?
Yeah, I think I think you said 3.5 and 5.
Yeah.
I think so. All in all, on a $2 million indie movie to make 3.5 gross is like, it's pretty good, especially like for this movie.
You paid everybody and now you have extra money.
Yeah, and the Rotten Tomatoes, it's 82% on the tomato meter and a 79 on popcorn, and it didn't have a Metascore.
It's strange because it's like,
I really didn't think it was going to score that high.
It's funny because I think it's like that's when your fans are all, because like, okay, based off of a lot of the movies that we reviewed, it's too high.
Yes,
it's definitely too high, but I'm not hating. When I say that it's too high, what I'm really saying is that a lot of other things have been too low because we've watch better movies
for sure.
Scores than them.
Yeah.
But that being said, this was a great movie. It's very entertaining, and for what it is, like if we're doing it within context, then totally for a $2 million budget, 100%. Right. Honestly, maybe too low for what it is. Especially, I'm coming in with like again 0 context, never heard of this, but for the career that it spawned and it being, I did a little bit of research, and like this is like one of those ones where like if you know, you know. And everyone who loves, like, if you like horror, you should have seen this movie. And if you haven't seen this movie, like one of those. And so, this was like super fun. Sarah was loving it.
Nice.
Like,
love to hear that. Sarah, the truest friend of the podcast.
No, she doesn't watch us.
She's supportive. Shout out Sarah. I appreciate you, Sarah. Whatever. And it's true indie too. Like this was like not supported by a studio. He wrote it himself. Like it was really shot in the woods. They shot in Luxembourg because they couldn't afford the UK. Yeah, so it's I love that the critic score is 82 is surprising to me. I thought it would have a high popcorn score because indie movies tend to. Also, like when you watch it, I think Cole even said like, why does it look like 80s TV?
Yeah,
and apparently because Neil Marshall doesn't own the rights to this movie when they did the Blu-ray. Which is what is like hosted on like Prime and all that stuff. They couldn't find HD footage anywhere, and he had to like rely on like I forget where they found it. It was like in a library or some basement of somewhere. They found like some footage that they were able to put onto Blu-ray, but couldn't get it looking any better. Than
it was weird. That's interesting because I was like doing research and I was watching somebody talk about like the legacy of the movie online. And some of the B-roll, or not B-roll, like some of the footage they used was like, this is crisp HD. I was like, why was the version that I looked at so, for lack of better term, shitty?
Yeah. I think it was because of the fact that they weren't produced by a studio that would keep things. Like I think that's even like a UK thing, whereas like the studios in Hollywood can afford to just like keep the original film and like put digital archives. Like they keep everything because like there is potential for that IP to come back, you know? And just like in this case, indie movie, UK market, they like couldn't find it anywhere. But yeah, that's a few fun facts, and I have some more as we go. This is the point where we'll give a spoiler warning for a 2002 indie horror movie. We're gonna tell you the entire story right now, similar to the format we tried last week. We're gonna read you a full synopsis of this movie, and then after that, we will talk about our favorite parts of it. Dog Soldiers. So, synopsis of Dog Soldiers. We get the classic monster movie opening scene. A young couple camping in the woods is trying to get down and get murdered instead.
Then we meet our hero, Cooper, as he undergoes a selection exercise for special forces. He managed to evade capture for over 22 hours before getting captured by Captain Ryan's troops and dogs. But when Ryan orders Cooper to kill a dog, Cooper refuses, ending his hopes of joining the special forces unit, and Ryan kills the dog anyway.
4 weeks later, Cooper drops into a remote area of the forest with the rest of his squad. Sergeant Wells commands the 5-man team of Cooper, Bruce, Terry, Joe, and Spoon. We learn the boys are part of a training exercise armed with guns that only shoot blanks and out to track down another unit. When bonding over a campfire, a half-eaten cow falls into their camp, and they start to suspect something strange might be going on in these woods.
The squad finds the camp of the asshole from earlier, Captain Ryan, whose men have been massacred. Ryan somehow survived, but is barely hanging on and maniacally repeats, "There was only supposed to be one." This isn't a training exercise, and Ryan's men were fully armed. The squad finds the camp of the asshole from earlier, Captain Ryan, whose men have been massacred. Ryan has somehow survived, but is barely hanging on and maniacally repeats, "There was only supposed to be one." This isn't a training exercise, and Ryan's men were fully armed. The squad arms up all they can, and then they have their first encounter with Ryan found, or what found Ryan.
Werewolves chase the squad through the woods. Bruce runs into a tree and dies. Sarge has his intestines pulled out of his stomach, but Cooper tucks them back in so they can run off. They find a road and happen across a young woman named Megan. The werewolves aren't quite fast enough to keep up with her car, and she takes them to the only farm in the glen to use the phone because their radio stopped working.
They find the farmhouse empty, save for some very, very good boy, a border collie named Sam. Megan lives in the only other house in the area and is a zoologist who came to study the stories about creatures in the woods. Their squad find the car's engine destroyed and the werewolves surrounding the house. After a long and arduous fight, Terry is taken by the werewolves and presumed dead. Megan helps Cooper superglue Sarge back together. All the while, Ryan is conspicuously perfectly healthy. They come up with a plan for Spoon to distract the werewolves while Joe runs to hotwire the farmer's cow. Joe finds Terry still alive, being eaten by a werewolf who throws Terry's head at Joe. Joe drives the car back to the house, only to find there was a werewolf in the car along with him.
Megan admits that she had met Ryan before when she showed his team around the woods looking for evidence of the creatures previously. Spoon, Cooper, and Sarge interrogate Ryan, who admits the training exercise was just to use them as bait so that he could capture the werewolf for the Special Weapons Division of the military. He then turns into a werewolf, and Cooper puts a sword through his chest, which does nothing, but they get him to run away.
Megan tells them the creatures are probably behaved like a wolf pack and are hiding somewhere sheltered with their food supply. They decide to use a gas tank and the car to blow up the barn, hoping to kill as many as they can. They pull off the plan, but none of the werewolves are killed, because Megan let them inside. She reveals to be herself one of them and had hoped the soldiers could save her somehow, but she starts to turn and Sarge kills her with a bullet to the head.
An epic final fight ensues. After a hell of a fight, Spoon is finally killed. Sarge and Cooper find a basement, and Cooper takes Sam down into it as Sarge begins to turn. Sarge uses the gas stove to blow up the house and all of the werewolves, except for Ryan. Cooper and Sam fight Ryan, and Cooper finds a silver letter opener from the horny camping guy at the beginning of the movie. He jams it into Ryan's chest, who begins burning, and Cooper finishes him off with a gunshot to the head. Cooper and Sam the good boy survive and make it back to civilization with pictures of the werewolves. When you say it all that quickly, it's a pretty convenient story.
Yeah.
And now let's get into Kevin Ugee's cuts. So this is just the stuff in the movie we want to talk about. First of all, I love this movie. Before we even get into the cuts, I just want to kind of get your general take on it. Like, what
I really liked it. It was really fun. I wasn't sure what to expect. I think right before I watched it, I think I called you and asked you. I was like, wait, what genre?
Yeah,
is this?
I almost didn't want to tell you it was a werewolf movie, but I figured you get the monster revealed pretty early.
Yeah,
and I was careful to say it's a werewolf movie, not there are werewolves in it. I don't know.
Yeah,
hopefully I didn't know.
I still didn't really know what I was like getting myself into.
Yeah,
really, because
it's not a werewolf movie in the the more traditional werewolf trope is like American Werewolf in London, where like someone gets attacked and then has to reckon with the monster they're turning into.
Yeah.
I actually learned in my research for this that Neil Marshall hates An American Werewolf in London, and so like intentionally avoided stuff from that movie. And so he didn't even want to do certain methods of when Ryan changes. Like he didn't want to show it a certain way because he didn't want to pay any homage to like the most popular werewolf movie in cinema history. But
that makes sense. But no, it was like a ride. It was really funny because I was just like, I'm at home, just like the second that we met Megan, I was just like, I don't trust that bitch.
Yeah. She wasn't in my secret agent classes.
Yeah, exactly. I was just watching it. I was just for me, I was enjoying all the Englishisms.
Yeah,
and talking about football. I was like, I want to hang out with these guys. Well, I don't, but like, I could.
Yeah. Yeah, I love watching it this time. I watched it with subtitles, and I don't think that was even if it was an option, unlike the VHS copy I had of my dad's. Like I never
VHSs didn't have options, but.
Right? Like there was no caption button. I don't even remember if we had it on DVD or VHS, but like there were things that I legitimately never knew what the person was saying until I watched it this time because the accents are so thick and it's like authentic slang.
Yeah, they're speaking of heavy Scottish accents.
Yeah, some of them are Scottish, some of them are British.
Yeah. It was funny. Like I was watching the movie for about halfway, and I thought that Liam Cunningham was Jean Reno.
Oh yeah, they do look pretty similar. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh no, that's Sonny and Knight. He said something, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah, Sir Davos. Yeah. It's the accents are thick.
It's just like all these different like Britishisms, like you what, and just like you absolute plonker.
Yeah,
it's like proper idiot.
When they were talking about like what scares them, and I think it's Joe says what really gets me shits out. Yeah, which, like I've never heard. I love that. Like, it's like what makes me shit myself is basically what it like, gets me shits out. And I like keep calling everything bone.
Yeah,
this fucking bone. Yeah, thick accents. Thank God for subtitles.
Yeah, I also wrote down. We'll get into it, but when they find out that Captain Ryan's healed, I was just like, Valar Morghulis, Valar Dohaeris. That's some Game of Thrones jokes for you guys.
So the first scene I just want to touch on is Cooper's intro. It's so effective at establishing the hero and the villain in between Cooper and Ryan. But like, why we gotta kill dogs?
Shout out JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
It's right. You watched it?
I got up to part 4.
Oh, we're doing JoJo. We're doing a JoJo podcast.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I just finished season 1 yesterday, so
yeah. It only gets worse for dogs.
I'm sure. I think it only gets worse.
This is just that concept.
Yeah. When I think of this movie, the first thing I think of is that scene of Ryan killing the dog. I'm glad they don't actually show it, but it's so upsetting. Also, like in real life, I don't think even Ryan, who's supposed to be this like Black Ops boss, like I don't think you get away with that. Like I'm pretty sure the guy who handles the dog isn't going to let you do that, and like military dogs cost tens of thousands of dollars to train. So But yeah, effective storytelling technique. You're like, okay, Cooper's my hero, Ryan's the villain.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
I also am not gonna lie. I was just like, the Chekhov gun was a bit obvious. I was like, this is gonna be pivotal later.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He's like, oh.
So the second we met Sam, I was just like, okay, something about. I was like, this dog's gonna save.
Yeah.
This dog's gonna save him, or he's gonna have to say or this dog's gonna kill Ryan. Like something's gonna happen here.
Super cute border collie.
Yeah.
Also, I think it was a Neil Marshall quote that I came across that he was saying that like he doesn't know who trained that movie dog, but it's like the worst trained movie animal he's ever worked with.
It wasn't even the goodest part. He just really wanted to shoot that dog. That wasn't even part of the script. Yeah. Like, shoot that
dog. Yeah. The other scenes I want to talk about were just there's a few bonding scenes between the soldiers like before shit goes off the rails. The first one when they're all just like they're like laying on a stump is just a cool set piece, like the way that they all fit in frame between two trees on a stump. Cooper's at the top. It's this kind of like visual. I'll see if I can find it to include here. It's like a visual like representation of, even though Sarge is in charge, you got him and Cooper sharing the top and all the guys like bonding together.
Yeah.
And then the what scares you chat that I mentioned is it's amusing and it's effective as like bonding for the characters, but it also foreshadows every character's death in some way. So Bruce, or at least their story, Bruce says his fear is the self-destructive nature of the human condition, and then he runs himself into a tree and like destroys himself. Like that's the way that character dies. Okay. Spoon says castration, which is mostly a joke, but like he gets torn to pieces at the end. Spoon, my favorite character.
He has probably one of the most iconic death scenes.
Yeah. Joe, what really gets me shits out is a penalty shootout.
Yeah.
Terry says watching a penalty shootout with Joe. And so you get this kind of camaraderie between them and they die back to back.
Yeah. Shout out to all of our Arsenal friends. Yeah.
Penalty shootouts.
Yeah. Y'all got some of your shits out recently.
Yeah. Coop says spiders initially, but then he says and women and spider women. Yeah. So there's apparently deleted scenes where he reveals that he was recently cheated on, and that's why he has all these problems with women. And I think he reveals that to Megan because that's the only way that her lines at the end of the movie make sense.
Yeah.
But that got cut for time.
Yeah.
So that's why he's afraid of women. And Spider Women is funny because he meets this woman who he kind of connects with, and she's a wolf woman. Yeah. And so you get that kind of foreshadowing.
She's a spider.
Yeah.
Spiders.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. And then Sarge says, never seeing my wife again, and then tells an eerie story after saying, and those little things that make your skin crawl and the hair stand up on the back of your neck. And he talks about when he's in Kuwait in 91 with this guy, Eddie. And apparently I forget the last name of the character that he mentions, but that Eddie name is in every Neil Marshall movie.
Wow. So Eddie's, is it the same character?
I don't know. I need to do more research or watch more Neil Marshall movies. It tells a story about getting a tattoo for protection of the devil because his soul belongs to God, but it's up to the devil to save his skin, and he steps on a landmine and gets blown to pieces, and the only recognizable piece of him is that devil tattoo.
And so anyways, this bloke walks into a pub.
Cal falls into this. Great.
I wrote for that scene. I was like, that was great acting. It's like a riveting story. Like I'm like at this, I was like, this
really
is a
good monologue.
Yeah, it's a great monologue. I'm like, this is a werewolf movie.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Sean Pertwee is a really good actor.
I was just like, okay, I'm like in on it. And I'm just like, oh, this guy's talking like some real war trauma right now. So anyway, this bloke walks into a pub. I was like, bro, what the fuck?
But it's so real though, like that cutting the tension.
Yeah.
And like he ends the story by saying it taught me to keep a very open mind. Yeah. And you get this like awkward, like creeped out tension, and then Spoon has to break it.
Yeah.
And like that's it, like it cuts the tension in a way that feels comedic in the movie, but like that's
very realistic.
I feel like that would happen.
Yeah.
Like if I were in that scenario, I would be the one to crack a joke and try to like lighten it back up. That's just that's probably why I like Spoon the most, because he's like sarcastic and cracking jokes all the time. And, but yeah, I love the intentionality of that, how they foreshadow their own deaths in some way. Never really caught that on previous watches. But next scene I want to talk about is the first encounter with the werewolves, and Megan's rescue.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, Bruce is just unlucky. How hard would you have to run into a tree to impale yourself on it?
Depends on how sharp.
Yeah, it's a big fucking.
And he has gear on.
Yeah, it's a.
Like, I can imagine impaling yourself a little bit, like stabbing yourself. And,
yeah,
but like all the way through.
I think he really wanted that shot of like panning out to show the
it would have
stick
made more sense
through
if
him.
The werewolf pushed him.
Yeah,
but
and then you get the like him looking off towards the camera as you hear the growl and then like blood on the leaves. It's good. It's good horror movie shit. But it like that was a little bit of a leap, literal leap into the tree that I just thought was like a little bit silly. Everyone else is like pretty legitimate deaths, but poor Bruce, unlucky.
Yeah,
the self-destructive nature of the human condition.
I also thought it was funny because like they're supposed to be, I'm not sure, they're supposed to be quiet as they're going through, trying to like, they're doing like a war game and they need to like sneakily get through, and they're being watched by Captain Ryan, and they're all just doing the March of Leaves. They're like,
yeah, right. And when the cow falls into their camp, the dude starts shooting blanks at it. Like, you just gave away your position.
Exactly.
You just ruined the entire training exercise.
This is why they're not special forces.
Yeah, exactly. They're expendable. And then when Sarge gets his intestines ripped out and he's like trying to push them back in, like that. I watched this when I was 12, dude.
Yeah.
That's like scarred me for life. There are a couple of shots of this that like I occasionally still have nightmares about.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
I didn't like that one. I was just like, man, people have to do, like, he's just like, just put him back in.
Yeah. And apparently
they're not going to fucking fit.
Yeah. And Sean Pertwee, the actor who plays Sarge, they used real sausages for that. And they were shooting outside in Luxembourg. So they kept freezing. And then they would have to thaw the sausages back out to get the shot. So by the time they got the shot, it smelled awful. And he said that it was like actually upsetting to him. Like, he felt like he was injured because he was just laying, almost getting frostbite in the middle of nowhere in Luxembourg, covered in like stinking, rotting sausages. Like,
do you think if you do that long enough, you would get like phantom organ syndrome or something like that?
Maybe, yeah. How many shots it takes where you actually start getting stomach pain?
Yeah. Like, is that actually my guts?
Yeah, yeah. And I think there's like a line later on when they're trying to patch him back up, and he's like, "Oh, sausages!" He's all drunk.
Yeah.
That line was ad-libbed because of the sausages scene in the woods.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I definitely caught that when he was like, "Oh, sausages," and I was like, "That's some dark humor."
Yeah, yeah.
And then, also when the dog is fucking
pulling on him. Yeah. So apparently in that
wasn't
it was written in the script that the dog was going to play tug of war with the intestines, and Neil Marshall's like, audiences are going to hate this. Like, this is pretty gross. I don't know if we can do this. And so he changed it to a bandage, and it still looks like the intestines. And everyone always thought, like, audiences still thought that. And he's like, well, I tried.
I mean, it wasn't.
It's so gross.
There are more upsetting things to me in that. That was actually kind of comedic to me. I was just like, this fucking dog.
Yeah. Sam is, and like, if you think about it, because there's like the part where they find, when they get to the farmhouse, like jumping ahead a little bit, they get to the farmhouse and there's stew on, and they're, oh, it looks like pork. But then at the end of the movie, they find like half cut up bodies hanging in the basement. Oh. And you realize that they were eating human meat that tasted like pork to the soldiers. And so I'm thinking at this point, did they also feed human to their dog? And that's why when Sarge has this injury, the dog's like, that smells like what I usually eat.
Probably.
Yeah.
Dark movie. Be doing too much. The dog.
Just a dog being a dog.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't even scripted because, like I said, like that dog did not behave well on set.
But you're probably right. Actually, I did not put that together because that would make a lot more sense. Yeah.
I never thought about the fact that it was human stew until this watch.
Yeah.
Just because I think it was because I had the subtitles on and they were like, "Oh, it looks like pork."
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, that's
they definitely
human."
did capture people. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like I said, at the end, you find all the bodies hanging in the basement, and yeah, very Neil Marshall shit, very Descent kind of.
Yeah,
grody cannibalism shit. But anyway, back to Megan's bitch ass. So they find her quite serendipitously.
It's like, what are you doing driving out here? There's like military operation,
and it's like she says that there's only one house in the Glen, and she lives in the other one. I can understand where the soldiers like wouldn't think of it. There are lots of hints from this point in every scene that Megan is in that she's one of them. But like I can see why the soldiers in this panic to get out and like finding a car would like not think of that. But when she reveals herself at the end and she starts to turn, she says that she hoped that they would get her out. And I don't understand why. What did she hope was going to happen?
I don't know.
By taking them back to the farmhouse. You know what I mean? Like, why didn't she just drive out of the Glen into town and like get them to get her out of there? Because
they were there because I don't know. These werewolves, I guess, are faster than a car.
But they're not because they drive away from them.
Exactly. So it's just like, well, they destroyed the car, but it's just, I don't know.
Like, why do they go to the farm? If she rescues the soldiers with the intent of them saving her from being in this fucked up family, as she puts it, why go to the farm?
Yeah.
Why not dip?
Let's go the opposite way.
Yeah.
There's so many of, I don't know. They'll find, I don't know.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Answer.
Like I think this movie does a pretty good job with the story being somewhat tight while you're also like in a werewolf like hack and slash romp, you know. But like that part was always just weird to me. Is like, what did she actually think she was going to get out of it? Like, was she really thinking that the farmhouse would be like enough of a stand that like they could fight off and survive the night? Like maybe that's what she thought, and like she knew the werewolves would block the other way that was like towards town.
There's no way she would have thought that. But it's also weird too because it's like she doesn't really react when like her family members are just getting shot to fucking shit.
Yeah, well, that's not her family. This is my take on it. Like I think that she really was a zoologist who came to study them and then got turned by them and was like, well, now I'm fucking here and this is going to happen to me every month, so I should just like become part of this family. That's how I took it. I don't think it was like she was secretly the daughter of the family and like, but then there's the thing with the picture.
Exactly.
So like, I don't know.
Say the picture things, you're not in them because you took them, but maybe she took them because she wasn't really a part of their family.
Yeah. Maybe she took it more recently. Maybe there were like, when they weren't monsters, maybe she did actually enjoy being part of the family.
I feel like this movie is like niche enough that people are going to see our channel.
I hope so.
Watch. So if you've made it this far, please comment your theories below.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I like this is, I think in the past, I always believed that she was actually like blood related part of this family.
Yeah, that
and
was
the zoologist story was a cover.
I only watched it once. I tried to watch it again at like work. I had it on in the background, but like I was just really enjoying the Britishisms.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we can get Neil Marshall on the pod sometime and ask him about it. That would be a lot of fun.
Friend of the podcast.
Yeah. That's just, her scheme doesn't make sense, and I think that's one of the only holes in the plot of this movie.
Well, I think the biggest plot hole was that these guys would miss a soccer game.
Yeah.
To do a fucking exercise. Yeah, right.
When you're in the army, you don't really have a lot of choice.
The British bloke needs is getting a nice cold one to his throat and back down again. Come on, England, let's go.
It's coming home.
It's coming home.
Some fucking go.
Yeah. What do they say? What they say later on? Come on and have it if you think you're hard enough.
Yeah.
I simultaneously want to be... Saying that I want to be British is too much. I wish that I was good at being able to speak in a British accent so I can make jokes. I don't want to be British.
Yeah. I think everyone who has watched you do a British accent wishes you could do one too.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like sometimes I can get it, and then other times
it's hard, man. Accents are tough. I can't. There's a lot of accents I can't even try publicly because it's just racism. So
yeah,
at least British ones I can get away with. You can't be racist against British people. Can't be racist against people that are the biggest colonizers in history. So yeah, this is set in Scotland.
Yeah,
that was colonized, and it's a beautiful. Like there are actually a few scenes that they did shoot in Scotland.
I'm like, this isn't like some made up shit. Like actually, like a quarter Scottish.
Oh, really?
Both of my grandmothers are mixed, and both of them are the child of a black woman and a Scottish guy that had a secret family, one in Africa and one in the Caribbean.
Both grandmothers?
Both
That's
grandmothers.
wild.
And It's gross, but I also find it kind of funny. I'm just like, what if it was the same guy?
Yeah. He had 3 families. That would be very
Not for
British.
that.
That would be very British if you had inbreeding in your family tree.
I don't think so.
No.
Like, just as another aside, like, there was like talk. My Nigerian part of the family like always wanted to like wanted to do the roots whole thing and like kind of find them.
Yeah.
And I thought there'd be nothing better than ruining some Scottish family's Christmas and all of us
You guys all
showing
turning up.
on Christmas Day. Guess what? We're your family, and just have like Netflix cameras.
Oh, that's
That'd be
great.
sick.
That would be good. It'd be even better if it was also my family from Scotland, because I have cousins over there. So that would be really, really
Shout
fun.
out Scotland.
Yeah.
Shout out Andy Robertson. I'm rooting for y'all in the World Cup because Nigeria couldn't make it. Scotland, Canada, those are my World Cup teams.
I always root for Scotland and stuff, and they're never very good. That's why Six Nations is a lot of fun the last few years with Finn Russell, like actually watching Scottish teams be competitive. But yeah, shout out to the Macintoshes over there, Highlanders for generations.
There can only be one.
Yep. Turns out there's a lot though.
Yeah.
So speaking of Scotland, I want to talk about the farmhouse set because
Sorry.
that is a great set. I don't know if they blew up a real farmhouse or not, but it's a cool set because it's like it's visually very cool. It's very like old world British, very like it feels right. Like the pictures on the walls, like the old pots and pans, and like it feels very authentic. But it also is like symbolic of it. Like establishes a fort for the soldiers to defend, and it's like man-made construction against a force of nature that can't be stopped. And like the farmhouse like slowly gets destroyed throughout the whole night until there's just a doorway standing, and that's all that's left.
I said like my feeling when I was watching, I was like, this is literally like Nazi zombies.
Yeah.
It's like covering up, that's like hammering it down,
Yeah.
then shooting out the holes. I was like, if this weren't terrifying, it'd be incredibly fun.
Yeah. It's very, I don't know. I just think it's a visually cool set, and it establishes a lot thematically as well.
This movie came out in like 2002.
Yeah.
I feel like that would probably have like a influence in like
Yeah.
Nazi's development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, no, you haven't seen it?
I have not seen.
Yeah. If you look at some of the, it's like literally like they're in this farmhouse and there's like just like windows and doors and they're boarding them up and shooting them out, like with like an MP5,
Right. Yeah.
like all the same, like not all the same, but a lot of the similar weapons that you would use in like, what was the first Call of Duty? It was
This is World at War.
World at War, right? Yeah, yeah.
Then,
But then the one that
Ops.
caught on was Black Ops 1.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even think about that, but that's very similar to that, right? Like there's, as soon as you board up one window, you hear one crashing at the other side of the house, and you got to run over there. I also had the note here about the human stew. I think like on the Sam so they find Sam the dog locked in the closet, which I thought was interesting. Like,
oh my god, the
Did-
dog's gay.
a gay border collie. That's why he was too hard for Neil Marshall to handle on set. But like, why did they lock him up if they don't hurt him at the end? There's a scene where at the very end, I think it's when they're eating Spoon. Like when Spoon fist fights the werewolf and loses, and Sam, like it shows one of the werewolves like come over to Sam, and they're like nose to nose, and Sam starts like snarling and barking. That poor dog was probably so terrified of that costume. Cut to the next scene, Spoon is dead, the werewolves aren't in the room, and Sam is fine. So like maybe it's just a precaution that they're like, we're just gonna lock you in for the night while we go hunt, just make sure you're fine. But they clearly love that dog, because even in werewolf form where they're eating everything they can find, they leave him alone. I also noticed Sam never attacks any of the werewolves that are in the family, but he does attack Ryan at the end. So he can, even through the transformation, he can tell who his family is. I don't know. I like there were some interesting things with Sam that kind of like that locking him in the closet kind of gives the monsters in the movie a little bit of humanity.
So you're trying to tell me that Sam lives his life a quarter mile at a time?
Sure. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Because like the werewolves are a different race, and he's at war.
There it is. Sam Fast. Let's see. I have a whole section on Megan.
Okay.
Give me your take on Megan as a character. Slash performance. Whatever you want about Megan.
I think the actor did a good job.
Yeah.
I think the thing was, I already came in with a negative misconception of her because her entrance was just too convenient.
Yeah.
And at first, I was like chalking that up as maybe I was subconsciously getting the hints, but it was just like when she was talking. I think she had a conversation at one point where she was like talking about women, like, well, this is why you don't trust women or something like that. And she was saying something like that, and the fact that she was even having the conversation, because like there was a point where someone starts saying something like, "Oh, you're like a lovey couple" or something, and they mentioned that, and I was just like, that's not happening. These guys are fucking terrified. Like, you're not in a. I just didn't trust her, and I was just like, you're a zoologist, but you're here by yourself. How are you fighting? If you were to encounter one of them, what do? They just took out everything.
Yeah, why aren't you dead if you live in this glen?
As the movie went on, I was just like, her story is seeming less and less. And at one point, I didn't think that she was like one of them, but I did think that I thought that this was some sort of plot between her and Ryan. I thought that like, I was like, they're in on this together. They're probably trapping people here. I was thinking she is a zoologist and she's trapping people here to study them.
Gotcha.
And she probably works for the military, and like they trap people. Like, oh, these guys are a bunch of idiots. So like, we're gonna get rid of them and make it seem like it's a training accident,
and use it as an opportunity to study how they
fight.
Yeah.
But I was wrong.
There's a lot of hints.
But I was kind of wrong. I wasn't too wrong.
Right. You knew not to trust her right off the jump.
Women. So.
Yeah. I think that's the thesis of this movie is don't trust women.
Yeah.
Not that I agree with that. I'm just saying that I think that is what they're getting across.
I said I don't trust white women.
Oh,
yeah.
That I'll endorse that.
I can trust women.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might have to cut that. I'm not sure if I can say that on the internet.
We gonna find out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll find out through my job.
Yeah.
Like HR. Did you say this?
So I did write down all of the hints. So first, like, she finds them very conveniently. Like, she knows where they're getting attacked by the pack. That's like the first kind of like, As soon as they get into the car, when she rescues them, she and Ryan like stare at each other. I didn't remember that they revealed that they had met on like a previous mission to try to study the werewolves. But so like when I saw that, I was like, she can smell that he's turning. Like, that's what I thought it was, is like she knows that he was turning. When they first get to the farmhouse and they're arguing, Cooper says something that pisses her off, and she says, "I know how to kill, and I've got a mean streak a mile across." And so like that's a little bit like, how do you know how to kill? Oh, because you've eaten people for the last several months. She says, "I know they're as real as you and me, and before the night is over, you will too." And she also says to the soldiers that I forget who she's talking about. She says they're lambs for the slaughter, like you. She says like you. She doesn't say like us. She also is never attacked by a werewolf in the entire farmhouse like stand. They never go after her a single time. There's times where you see her kind of like looking out the window, like listening, and like I think what they're trying to portray is like fear, or like her trying to, like, it's like right before this where she's like, oh, they're probably behaving like a pack. So you think that she's like listening and like thinking as a scientist or as a zoologist. But then like after the reveal, you realize she's listening to them telling her, hey, get them to attack the farmhouse. Let us in the back door. Like every time that it shows this kind of like what you think is fear, it's actually them communicating with her to pull her into the scheme. It happens twice. The one I liked the most that was the least obvious is when there's like in between battles, she plays Claire de Lune on piano, which is French for moonlight.
Oh, it's funny. Even when I stopped it, I was like, oh, that's Debussy's Claire de Lune.
Yeah.
And I didn't even put that together.
The full moon. Yeah. Like, given you could not see that as a hint because it's on the piano of the werewolf family, but like I think it's meaningful that she's the one to sit down and play it.
Yeah, that's funny. I totally called it out and did not put it together.
Yeah.
Funny.
Moonlight. And then the final reveal is just like I said, because they cut the scene where he talks to her about like not trusting women, it doesn't make any sense. She says, "You might think that they're all bitches, but I'm the real thing," which is so tacky.
And also like a dog.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's tacky. It's just like, and then I always think of, do you think I like being part of this fucked up family? No, I don't think so. And then Sarge domes her before she can turn. So someone had to put her out of her misery,
Yeah.
which is true. She like was trying to get out of this situation and then gave up and was about to kill them. So
Should have just killed them and been like, oops.
yep, I know. She's free now. That brings me to a complaint I have with this movie. What are the rules? Like, what are the universe rules here for what actually kills a werewolf? Because
She has that whole rant about how, well, she might be lying to throw them off.
yeah, I think the only reason that a gunshot kills her is because she hasn't turned yet.
Yeah.
So the conceit there is like, oh, you can kill a werewolf if you get them before they turn. Too bad we didn't get Ryan in time. So they kill her. She's one of 6 werewolves. There's a family of 5 and her, and then Ryan by the end, and then Sarge, but whatever. So they kill her. That's 1 down. They kill 3 in the explosion in the gas stove, and then Cooper kills Ryan. I don't understand, and Sarge kills himself. I don't understand when the other 2 got killed, because they never show any other like explicit kills. They show them getting shot a bunch.
I couldn't tell. Like, honestly, I didn't realize there were 7. I thought there were so many. If you have a Gone in 60 Seconds for this, I'm good.
No, I don't.
Because I was just like, I couldn't tell. Like, it was just even like, I didn't understand what could kill them, honestly. Like, it seemed like getting
That's one
shot.
of the holes.
Yeah, it was like getting shot was not stop. I was like, if you guys are getting shot like a bunch of times and it's not killing you, then you're good. They weren't even bleeding, really.
Right. And so when I ended up Googling it, because I was like, when do the other 2 get killed? And on that, there's like a website that's like Internet Movie Kill Database, basically, that like tells you every death
I went
in
there
every
for
movie.
the collateral quiz.
So the 2, it says that there are 2 that are shot to death, like in the battles somehow. But I don't think they ever make that clear. Like, they never really show you.
I thought they were just killing tons of them because there's a bunch of them that just. I mean, one of them gets hit with like a grenade, presumably. If that's not going to kill you,
Yeah.
because I guess a bomb, like
Yeah.
I don't know. So, but then
Maybe
like,
that's one of
but
them.
then getting like stabbed.
There is also a shot where I forget if it's Spoon or Terry. Someone like, there's one where you actually see like a werewolf like,
Yeah.
and I think that is supposed to be one of them, but it's so unclear. Like, because they definitely shoot a lot of them a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And
Fedora wearers, please let us know.
yeah.
Comments below.
Yeah. But that's we should talk more about the werewolves in general, because I have a few notes on here. I already talked about the fact that he didn't want to do more detail. What I was saying, he hated American Werewolf in London. Neil Marshall did. So he didn't want to do a practical effect transformation, which was like groundbreaking in American Werewolf in London, but it like looks pretty fake. Like, he just didn't want to give an homage to that. He also didn't want to do one that was like super CGI because he couldn't afford the good stuff. It's also 2002 CGI, so it wasn't that good yet.
It would have been good. I think it was actually better that they didn't do that.
Exactly.
It looks a lot better.
He thought that if you did it, the audience would focus on how bad the CGI looked instead of being terrified by the scene. And so he opted for the like cheap and effective, have Ryan fall behind the table and then pop up as a werewolf, which is effective. Like, I think both that turn and Megan's turn were pretty creepy. Like, when the yellow contacts and the fangs and like the like close up shots of like Ryan like growling on the table is like, it's pretty creepy. Megan's was a little bit tacky just because there's like the that comes with it. But I don't know. I like the way it was done. There are another fun fact about the werewolves. Neil Marshall hired dancers instead of stuntmen to play the werewolves because he wanted them to seem very like fluid, and he thought it would be more terrifying if they were like super intentional and like more natural in the way that they moved, which I think is true. Like, when you watch them move, it's like, it's creepy.
Yeah.
They wore 1 foot stilts in their costumes to get that extra height. And to that end, 2 of the shots in this that have like I still have nightmares about. One is like when Cooper runs upstairs to save Sarge and you see one just like standing right over the bed. Fucking terrifying shot, because they built the set on purpose so that the werewolves would have to duck their heads whenever they went through a door or anything to establish like how big and scary they are. And Sean Pertwee said that like he had nightmares for months after the fact about that because the costume was so good, and he's like laying in bed looking up at this fucking monster that's like over him, and like even though he knew it wasn't real, like he's like, I felt legitimate terror laying in that bed. It's really creepy. And then the other one that got me when I was a kid that like I got goosebumps when I watched it again is when Megan reveals that she let them in and you see the werewolves stand up behind her. I was like, oh, I just got goosebumps talking about it right now. Yeah, very creepy. Did a really good job with a low budget, like making those things terrifying.
That's how you do it. I'm happy that you told me that they opted against the CGI because I'm thinking about this with just like shit CGI. It wouldn't have been what it was today.
I don't know that they used any, like maybe a little bit to make the explosion look bigger.
Yeah, but I mean,
like
the costumes, even from the get-go, just even when they do the initial kills, just like they do a good job. One, they do a great job of building suspense throughout it because they don't reveal what they look like until like maybe halfway through the movie.
Yeah, the first time you see a full one standing up is when it's standing over Sarge in the upstairs bedroom.
And at that point, like you said, it's like they're hunching and all this sort of stuff. So like when you get to the fights, you feel they do good shots as well. The shot composition of like you get that like feeling of insignificance.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if I had to fight one of these things,
I wouldn't last a minute.
Yeah, like I feel like a lot of American werewolf things, like they're just like a dude with fur. And it's like, yeah, they got fangs and stuff, but it's like you gotta get the feeling like if I just kick it in the nuts, I might be able to run away.
Yeah.
Versus this,
or if I could just be smarter than it because it's only as smart as a dog. Where these are like clearly intelligent.
Yeah, but it's like this is like I was watching this movie, it's like, no, I'm cooked.
Yeah.
I'm in the situation.
Right. I love the part when it steals the shotgun away from Joe and like fires it back at him.
Yeah.
So like you could tell like, oh, these things are intelligent.
Yeah.
Like they're scheming. They still have their like human motor functions and whatnot.
Then why not just rob a bank?
Man. I think Neil Marshall was very smart about how he went about like where he invested his money, like the quality of the costumes for the werewolves. I think he also does a really good job of like establishing gore without big wide shots, but like when Bruce gets killed, he like runs into the tree and you get like the dripping blood off the branch, and then as he gets swatted, you just see like blood spray across leaves, and it's like a close up on the leaves. Like that's a pretty good way to like you with more budget or with a different allocation of budget, you could have shown the claws like swipe his head off or whatever it was, you know, but like. It like you were saying, it drags out the reveal of the werewolves, but it also like you get the same effect. You know exactly what just happened, but it's like he does that in the opening scene with the campers too, when the blood splashes, and then like her body goes limp, and it's like it's just I don't know. He's gone on to do like The Descent, which is gory, upsetting, terrifying. Like I'd never want to watch it again. You suggested it for this podcast. I don't know if I can do it.
I've like been wanting to watch the movie again because I remember it terrifying me.
Yeah, me too.
I like only kind of want to do it for the podcast. We should do it for like a Halloween episode.
There you
maybe
go. Yeah,
if we get there. But
I did I enjoyed watching this, and it made me want to watch more of his stuff. So maybe that's a good reason to do it. But
yeah, I rememhave it scaring the shit out of me.
Yeah,
like literally just like not being able to sleep.
Yeah, and I have a lot of respect for like how he made this look. Where it could have been way more over the top. It could have been CGI. It could have been more gory than it was. But it's like it's contained and it's effective, and like the gore that's shown is intentional to make you freak out, just like the characters are freaking out. You know?
Can I just say, I'm not sure if you're going to bring this up later, but Kevin's very last note that he wrote is England 5, Germany 1 is the most unrealistic part of this movie.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true.
I mean, current day.
In 2002, that might not be true. I actually think I saw something in my research about...
That happened, and it's like a big thing for them. It's
that's
like
why
he did
they have that.
Songs about it.
That's why Neil Marshall did that. But like when I was watching it, I was like, 5-1. Yeah, fucking right.
Like,
Germany would wax that ass.
This is one of the cool things about American culture that they got rid of. Well, I don't know. Sometimes it's funny and sometimes it's not. But it's just like, you know when you like watch Game of Thrones and they're just like, they'll write a song about you. It's like, we don't do that. We don't just like write, like literally wax lyrical about things that happened in our heroes.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like a thing. Like, they'll write
ballads, you know, like Westerns.
Yeah, but like, when was the last time? Like, are there songs about like Russell Wilson winning the Super Bowl? No one wrote a song about that.
I bet someone did.
Someone probably did, but like, it's not like a thing that like.
What was that guy that we used to see his flyers up all over?
Fantasy A?
Yeah. Did he write one?
Probably not. But I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like in football, like all of the football players, like all the stars, and even not even the stars, they have songs.
Right,
They
yeah.
sing the songs, like,
And the songs get passed down for decades through generations.
I go to Liverpool songs, they're still singing about dudes from the 80s.
Yeah. That is cool. Like, rare shout out to British culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was probably stolen from someone else anyways.
Yeah. The last thing I want to talk about was just an homage to Spoon.
Yeah.
Like I said,
great name.
right. I think I'm assuming short for Witherspoon or something, you know.
I'm wearing this.
Oogie on Oogie.
Sorry.
Legolas never.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming Spoon is short for like Witherspoon or something, but I love how he's funny right off the jump, like forgetting his watch and like that whole dynamic.
Yeah.
So another fun fact from my research, when Spoon forgets his watch and the Sarge gives it to him and says like, oh, it's fine, I'll count. Sergeant Harry G. Wells is named after H.G. Wells. So that was, the clock thing was on purpose by Neil Marshall there. Oh, fuck, that was one of the Gone in 60 Seconds. Oh, well.
I thought you said we weren't doing one.
No, I have one. It just wasn't about the thing that you just asked about. Other Spoon appreciation. My favorite shot of the movie is when he's trying to board the front door back up and the claws come through the mail slot and he's clap, 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 clap. It's just hilarious. It didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I laugh every time. And then in real life, that actor is a trained boxer, and that's why they had him fist fight the werewolf at the end and why he looks believable doing it.
Yeah.
But he loses, and he says my favorite line of the movie, which is, I hope I give you the shits, you fucking wimp.
Yeah.
What badass final words to say to a werewolf.
I mean, that, like, honestly, of all the, like, I feel like there's a lot of, like, what I would say are corny one-liners or, like, the Horatio.
Yeah.
But, like, that one was just like a, yeah.
It's believable that character, with like
that.
all of the things he's done so far, would just be in his final moments.
It
Like one
corny.
last, like,
yeah,
fuck
exactly.
you.
Like, I like that line so much because it wasn't corny.
Yeah.
I feel like
It could have been.
said, like, Megan's, like, it was like, but that one's just like, no, you would say that and you would mean it, and I'm here with you. He really hopes that you get. He hopes that you get the shit.
Yeah, he's like, I hope just one last thing I can
my
do
last
to you.
fuck you as you about to kill me.
Yeah.
is that I hope I give you indigestion, and that is just
so good. Just shout out Spoon and whatever that actor's name is.
I hate a lot. I hate a lot on the United Kingdom, but you know what? Sometimes when you're writing as flames, it is what it is.
Exactly. Darren Moffat. Shout out Darren Moffat.
Yeah, great delivery.
Yeah. Oh, he was also in Doomsday. I think Neil Marshall has a tendency to work with the same people again and again when he likes them, because Sean Pertwee is in like everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely do Doomsday. He was in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out Spoon. Thank you for your service.
I wish I knew someone named Spoon. It's a cool name.
Right. We can give someone a nickname. Mace, you want a nickname? No,
Yes.
we'll give you a better nickname than that.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I had to talk about with Dog Soldiers.
I was, my only disappointment was that there wasn't like a very like cliche look to the camera where they were just talking about the vampires. Like, I guess they're all dog soldiers.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. The final kill is kind of staring down the barrel of the camera. I forget what he says to Ryan as he shoots him, but he shoots like the gun levels at the camera, and then the camera is, it's pretty cool actually, is behind Ryan's head as the bullet goes through, and like the head explodes and blood hits the camera. So it's pretty cool. And it is a bit of a fourth wall break.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, it's,
I just wanted I was like, the name. Because we're in a completely different episode. But when Collateral, what's his name? Jamie Foxx says, "Oh, I'm just Collateral."
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, he does say that.
This does seem like the kind of movie that would like, say it. It's like, oh, I guess we're just dog soldiers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was waiting for it didn't come. But anyways.
Yeah, they do have a couple of things that are less overt, but
I think for what it was, this is a movie that knows what it is, and it did a very good job at like being that. It honestly overperformed my expectations.
Good.
Because it's kind of like when I was like, watch Puff Puff Pass. I was like, this is going to be a low budget werewolf movie. And I was just like, oh, this is a bunch. I think what I liked about it was that believability.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to.
I called him the king of camp, but it wasn't really campy. It was like, it's it was low budget, but
a lot of movies is
it was
like
earnest.
When you're
Is
in
that,
this-
like-
yeah, earnest? Like when we were watching Lethal Weapon, like when the daughter's running away, and it's just like, come on,
Yeah.
Like you get these things that bring you out of it, and like nothing really brought me out of it as much as I was just reacting. It was like, oh, I don't trust this. But it's like every time that I kept on putting myself in their shoes, I'm just like, what else could I possibly do?
Yeah.
Like, they're handling it better than I.
Exactly,
Like, these
yeah.
are just monsters that are beyond my capability. With all the guns, with all the everything. Maybe I didn't suss out what the situation was either first. I maybe didn't trust Megan.
Yeah.
I would have been like, no, let's come.
But like if you're sprinting for your life and one of your buddies just got taken down, your Sarge has a hole in his gut and this car shows up, like, save
but
me,
I'd also
Megan.
feel like I have the gun though.
Yeah.
We're getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
We're
right.
not going to some other
Yeah. It is like, where's the closest phone? Like,
Yeah.
no, where's the closest?
out. of
Get
here.
me the fuck out of here. Yeah. Where's the closest not fucking here?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the kind of going into what's the symbology there. One of the things that Neil Marshall was, when he set out to write this movie, he spent, I think, like multiple years writing and trying to get this movie produced. And he wanted it to be a movie about soldiers. And like their enemy happens to be werewolves. But he spent like a lot of effort on like how realistic their gear was, how they talked to each other, how they bonded with each other, like what they might do in certain situations. Because his father and grandfather were both British soldiers, and the majority of his crew also were veterans. So like this was like he wanted it to be a good portrayal of British soldiers. I think he nailed it. Like I think I never would have thought of it that way. I would describe it as a werewolf movie. Like that's what it is. But like knowing that that's what he set out to do, I think the theme comes through. That like brotherhood, camaraderie, like sacrifice for your squad. I think he did a good job with that theme.
Yeah.
Kind of obvious theme, nature versus man-made order, whatever. Like I said, the farmhouse physically is the symbol for that, as it gets destroyed by this natural or supernatural source, I guess. But it's just like, a dozen of maybe not special forces, but well-trained soldiers can't do anything, and against nature. Got some tropes. Siege horror. That's more of a genre than a trope, honestly. We're Under Siege, Night of the Living Dead is like kind of the predominant example. 30 Days of Night, which I mentioned on the last episode. You got the mole trope, Megan undercutting everything secretly from inside. The competent everyman hero, Cooper isn't. He seems exceptional, and like you kind of get that from the fact that he was up for selection for special forces, but he's just a private, but he survives. He survives based on just wit. And the Expendables trope, which is such a trope, it's its own movie series of the trope. But just enough personality for the expendable characters that like you care when they get killed.
There was one of them that I didn't care about.
Bruce, Terry, Joe.
Yeah, Bruce.
Yeah. I think that's why they kill Bruce first.
Yeah.
Because they don't really establish much personality for him other than being like kind of a right-hand man to Sarge. And then I like that. I think I mentioned this during the like what scares you scene, is that they couple Terry and Joe together. And you can tell that they're buddies, and like that's why Joe's so affected when they think Terry gets killed when he gets ripped out of the window. But then Joe ends up being the one to find Terry like still alive, getting eaten, gets his head thrown at him, and then gets killed right afterwards. This movie's dark. I guess horrors are always dark.
He's still alive. Fucking
Yeah, I forgot, honestly, until the headlights turned on and he like reaches up, like, save me. I was like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, just sitting there getting eaten alive. Yeah, and then we talked about the farmhouse symbol, the full moon. It's mostly just werewolf trope.
Yeah.
And then dogs, very intentional,
Dogs
like
of war.
loyal, intelligent. Like the title is a play on the symbol of a dog soldier, someone who just gets sent out to do some bullshit. And all right, time for the fun. This is going to be a hard one, I think. Gone in 60 Seconds. So this is our weekly quiz game about the movie we just watched. Oh, I didn't put the H.G. Wells one in here, so I didn't spoil it. So Neil Marshall has admitted after the fact in interviews that he got carried away with homages to other movies in the lines of this film. So there are 7 direct references to other movies that Neil Marshall loves in this. How many can you get?
0. Okay, 60 seconds. All right. Okay, well, movies that he loves. Well,
There are, okay, I'll give you a hint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 of them are quotes, and one of them is a character's name.
okay, well, there's Bruce, there's Terry, there's Spoon, there's Joe.
What's the opposite of there's spoon?
fork?
There is no spoon. When Spoon gets killed, Coop says, "Where's Spoon?" And Sarge yells, "There is no spoon."
The Matrix?
The Matrix.
Okay.
So there's one of them. There's 6 more.
Fucking House of the Living Dead. I don't know. Fucking what's another fucking Predator?
I think this one's too hard.
Yeah,
I think this has gone off the
I was not
rails.
paying attention that hard to be able to pick out quotes.
I think I would have only gotten.
Give me some hints so I can probably get them. But
Okay, so one quote is when they're talking about when Coop is telling the story of the campers that got killed. He says it's probably just an escaped lunatic, which is a quote from American Werewolf in London.
Okay.
So he hates the movie, but he put that in. Bruce Campbell is literally a character in Evil Dead, and that's who Bruce
haven't
is
seen that.
named after. Spoon at one point says, "This is like the Kobayashi Maru test. We're meant to fail. It's Star Trek is the Kobayashi Maru. It's an impossible to beat test that Captain Kirk beats." Cooper tells everyone short controlled bursts, which
Wait,
is
I do know that. Wait, do I know that?
maybe
No, I've heard that. Wait,
it is said, but it's a direct quote from a sequel to a similar survival horror movie,
no. Okay, go ahead.
Aliens.
Okay, I haven't seen any of the Alien movies.
Really?
No,
Oh man,
I like the first 2. I haven't seen. Well,
we weren't like really a horror house, so I didn't start watching like horror movies until like college, and it was only the stuff that like I can. I like horror movies, but I can't.
I'm
get
kind of
people
opposed to
around.
some of it.
I can't get the people around me to watch them.
Yeah. The last 2, when they're hopping out of the helicopter, one of them yells, "I'm not going," which is a direct reference to Apocalypse Now.
Okay.
And then the final one is when Spoon's ready to fist fight. He says, "Come on, you beauties!"
Fast and
which-
Furious.
Wild
Race
Geese.
Wars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Race Wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was way too hard. We might not make it short out of that.
Cut that whole shit. That's bullshit, bro. You set me out. What the fuck? That's some
I had a
dog
really-
soldiers.
I had a really
Bro,
hard
set me
time.
into this.
I had a
Oh
really
yeah,
hard time.
Oh yeah. Orson Welles. Yes. Oh yeah. I remember. I was thinking when he wrote that down. The Kobayashi test. Yes. Yes.
In my defense, I got 2 of these watching it live, and the other ones I had to Google. I didn't.
If you got 2, how the fuck was I supposed to get any of them, bro? The fuck?
no.
This was your movie.
How many other people know what?
I don't know what it is.
Black and White Cinema
said-
Podcast, brought to you from the Creative Block in Seattle. Shout out to our friends of the podcast, Megan and Alec, for our beautiful artwork. Shout out to all the Patreon members.
I have more trivia. No,
No,
it's not true.
start over.
This is cool now. Okay, I'm gonna get this.
Let's go.
No, I'm gonna close this out. I'm gonna close this out.
No, I'm kidding. Let's go.
We're gonna whip it back around.
Yeah, okay. Recap the past.
So Pitch Perfect, or no, Recast the Past. I do have a Recast the Past. So I did a full, or I didn't do a full recast. I did Sarge, Cooper, Megan, Spoon, and Ryan. Okay. So as Sarge, Idris Elba.
Oh,
Can you see him as kind of like
Yeah,
the
I
the older figure who sacrifices himself at the end? Daniel Craig is Cooper. I might be layer cake influenced.
yeah.
Emma Watson is Megan. Because I want to see her get shot in the face. Tom Hardy is Spoon.
Tom Hardy.
Just like the unhinged
Yeah.
jokester in the group. And Hugo Weaving is Ryan.
Don't know. Let me check out who this Hugo Weaving is.
Hugo Weaving, Agent Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Elron.
Yeah, Elron. I think he would be really cool going like that intimidating. Like Ryan is very collected and very quiet and scowly, and I feel like Hugo Weaving would be good. So instead of doing a Pitch Perfect, which is where we pitch a sequel, I have some fun facts. So Neil Marshall wrote this as a trilogy, but he never finished the other two movies and gave up on getting them produced. And he also doesn't own the rights to this movie, which makes it really hard for him to get another one made. The first sequel would have been about Cooper being locked up in a mental institution as part of a cover-up by the British government because it shows that he escapes with the photos. And Cooper discovers that there was a werewolf already inside of the asylum. The camper, played by Craig Conway from the beginning of the movie, who got locked up for all this crazy shit about getting attacked in the woods. Yeah. And then he turns and starts attacking and turns inmates, doctors, and nurses into werewolves. And Cooper has to get the surviving inmates of the asylum to fight against the werewolves and escape. The moment in the film when Megan cuts her hand on the shard of glass was meant to be a setup for the third film about werewolf DNA being weaponized to create other werewolves as soldiers.
See, that was the thing. So my thought was when that happened, I was just like, oh, this is going to turn her now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because I was like, they were so specific about showing
the cut.
Yeah. I was just like, this is obviously some sort of...
Until I read that, I thought that there was maybe a deleted scene where her hand was revealed to have healed itself too quickly, But it turns out it was a setup for a third movie that never got made.
I mean, so he doesn't own the rights, but can he just make 2 movies?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I found numerous places on the internet where it said that he's given up on ever getting the rest of them made.
He can just make them himself. He has money.
I know. Neil, buddy, if you're watching, we really like your movies.
I just watched the first one, okay? I'm invested now. Just make the rest of them shits. If you need actors, we'll at Triple Place. I'll do it for free, chicken.
100%. And we'll get Project Pat to join the cause.
He talks with his hands and clothes. It was all good. He was throwing up in the hood.
All right, our final segment of the week, Barbenheimer. Ugie, what movie would you double feature this with?
I said, The Ritual. Yeah, just another movie. Have you seen The Ritual?
The Ritual.
That's one with the deer monster, right?
Yes. It's another movie about... that one's a little bit scary. Well, that one's scary. That's about a bunch of homies camping out in the woods and they get caught in some occult deer monster shit.
Oof. This looks creepy as shit.
It is pretty creepy.
Oh. Okay. I said Doomsday, which is another excellent Neil Marshall movie that haunts my dreams.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been a special horror edition of the Black and White Cinema Podcast from the Creative Block in Seattle. Feel like we just did this. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend. Leave us movie suggestions. Let us know, if you're a fan of this movie that just discovered our channel because we're talking about it. I'm thrilled you're here. I love this movie. That's why I wanted to do it. Our most successful episodes are the most popular movies, and this is not that. And I'm hoping the cult comes out. So if you made it this far, thank you. And I hope.
Sorry I didn't know more about the movie. I enjoyed it. So
it was fun talking about this. And I really hope, I hope that some true Dog Soldiers fans enjoyed it. Let us know your takes, subscribe, comment, follow, hit the bell. It really does help. I know all YouTubers tell you this. It helps us a lot. You can connect with us however you like at allmylinks.com/kev-n-oogie. Thank you to the actual friends of the podcast, Mark and Mace, the Creative Block in Seattle, Marky Boy Productions. Come do some cool creative shit with my boys. They got Papa Shot. There's TVs. You can do concerts here. You can shoot podcasts, photography. It's a cool space to be creative. Birthday parties.
Game nights.
You can do Twitch streaming, game competition. There's nothing you can't do here, man. And it's a fun spot. Thank you, Megan and Alec, for our logos. Thank you to our Patreon members, Lisa, Eric, Philip, Brian, Ben, and John. And thank all of you for joining us today. We'll see you next time. Revolution. Take care.
Peace to all the Nubians filled with the new black consciousness.